Prevention/mitigation involves taking steps to reduce the risk and effects of a potential disaster. Mitigation is an ongoing effort that addresses the implementation, management, and maintenance of prevention strategies. The process includes the following steps: identify hazards and risks, develop plans to address specific hazards and risks, identify necessary preventative strategies, develop response plans. Implement corrective programs. Reassess to assure whether correctional measures were effective. Make necessary adjustments in emergency/disaster plans. One of the first activities in the prevention/mitigation phase is to identify what types of events, hazards, or incidents your child care center or child care home is at risk for. This is called a Hazard Vulnerability Assessment, or HVA. There are a few questions your program should answer when completing an HVA. First, is there anything that can be done to prevent this incident? If so, you should do it. Take the necessary steps for any possible incident you can prevent. If you cannot prevent a specific incident, your program should answer the questions: what can we do to decrease the chance of the incident? And what can we do to decrease how much it affects us or endangers us? During a disaster, children are at high risk for maltreatment, abduction, and abuse if separated from their families. In order to protect the children in their care, child care programs should have plans and processes in place to identify how they will reunify children with parents and guardians. Ideally, if there is advance warning about the event, attempts should be made to reunite children with their families before the event occurs. During an emergency, it is critical that you establish and practice routines for emergencies and disaster evacuation. Some emergencies will require everyone to stay in the building. Others will require you to evacuate, and some may even require evacuation away from the facility. Questions that need to be answered are: what are risks in my city and town? What are risks in my neighborhood? What are risks in my setting? Every city, town, neighborhood, and setting is unique, so emergency plans should be specifically tailored to each program. Before we move on to the next phase, let's review a few necessary steps that should be completed in the prevention/mitigation phase. Drag and drop each step into the correct order, starting with the first step towards mitigation.